Welcome to Synthetic Oil Protection. I'm your host Eben, and today we're back with another exciting AMSOIL oil analysis at 80,000 miles. And of course, it's on a beautiful 2019, and this is a Freightliner Cascadia X15 Cummins engine. So this is a lot of the newer technology. This is a really interesting oil analysis. So we're going to start off right away with all the data on the oil analysis, and then we're going to get into some really interesting stuff with the molecular level of how 100% synthetic oil works. All right, and I have to give a special thanks to Clinton Kirker, a really good friend of mine and a huge part of the channel. He carries the badge of honor, of course, on the truck, which you just saw. Now we're going to be going right into here. Thanks, Clinton, for being a huge part of the channel. This is his oil analysis through oil analyzers. We're going to start off with the component X15 diesel engine. He ran a SAE 5W30 weight, 100% synthetic AMSOIL motor oil. We're going to talk about that in a second. Coming on over, all the data here is very normal. There's some metals that are coming off into the oil, which is normal. And that's, of course, over this time period of, what was it, about 7 months, I believe, and 80,000 miles. So the only blunder on this is 62,000 miles right here instead of 82. And he ended at about 80,000 miles. Everything is really good. Fuel dilution is good. Soot thickening is good. And then the viscosity thickening is amazing. You'll see how low that viscosity is, which means you're getting better gas mileage that entire time. And that's obviously the point of this. And you're going to be curious, what type of gas mileage? Well, we're going to take a look at the gas mileage right now. We're starting off at 8.1, and this is at 143 miles. Now, he did do a lot of fluid changes. He did the motor oil, the transmission fluid, and the differentials, which I'm going to show that in a second. So here is this. And this is the after gas mileage, 8.6 average, 8.1. So half a mile a gallon better. That's about 6%. And now we're going to keep rolling to the diff temperatures before and after the diffs. We got 194 and 180. The one diff doesn't have as much airflow, so it gets a lot more heat soaking and stuff like that. And this is the after. So we got 176 and 184, and that is the before and after. So quite a considerable amount. And a little information for you: every 18 degrees hotter a lubricant operates at, it oxidizes exponentially, and it oxidizes at twice the rate. So every 18 degrees hotter, your lubricant's going to break down and thicken that much quicker. So it's a huge difference. Coming on over here, that's that. This is a temperature not pulling a hill. So this was pulling a hill diff temperatures. That's the diff temperatures not pulling a hill. Quite a bit of a difference. And then on to some overall fuel mileage. He just wanted to show he's touching 10 miles a gallon. He thinks he's going to jump quite a bit over that unloaded, which will be pretty interesting to see. Now, his truck does have some aero to it, and it does have a good gear ratio. I believe it's a 3.36 gear in the diffs. Subtleties that add up to that fuel mileage savings. He does have some aero. This is like an aerodynamic thing also on the trailer. And then his chin skirt, when I saw the truck, it's quite a bit lower. It looks very aerodynamic. And then along with the diff gear ratio of a 3.36, I believe. So that really adds up with the newer technology, now touching, as high as 10 miles a gallon, maybe even jumping over that. So if you're new to the channel and you're loving this information, definitely subscribe. If you have a friend that this could help them out, hey, share the video. It'll really help them out. We've helped well over $5 million. We've saved people on their engines, transmissions, and differentials on the channel, and that just keeps ticking away and counting. But wanted to get into what this kind of looks like, if you will. This is the scuff liner of inside of a cylinder. You can still see the cross hatching. On this one, you can already see it scuffing those lines there, those vertical lines. And it's up to 6% better wear protection. So it's a huge difference with this lubricant. You have less oil consumption, so you won't be adding as much oil. Now we're going to come on over to some more technical stuff. We're going to be showing a real world example with these rocks here in a second, which basically, I'm just going to run over these. This is like a mineral oil. All the rocks are jagged. Basically, if you looked at mineral oil under a microscope, you'd see that it's refined oil. And we're going to be showing a little bit about the definitions of oil in a second, which you can read a little bit more about, but we're going to make it real simple. This is like a mineral oil. This would be like a, something like a, what do they call it? The natural gas oil, where it's still not perfectly round and it's not 100% synthetic, but you're getting better. And then you're on to something that's 100% synthetic, where everything's basically built. So this wouldn't occur in nature. You can never find glass beads like that. It's never going to happen. Well, same thing with 100% synthetic lubricants. You're just not going to find it. You're not going to refine it and make it like that. So that's how that ends up being that way. And you say, well, what does that look like? This is the oil volatility and the weight loss. So you're going to see it's a huge difference from, say, a synthetic blend like this Mobil 1, and this AMSOIL is about half. So you say, well, how could Mobil 1 be half of that? Well, it's because it's half and half. So if you'd think half of the oil is this and half is something like this, you're going to have a very jagged situation. You're going to have a lot more wear in the pistons and cams and stuff like that. So you might be wondering, why did they start this 100% synthetic? Because it actually started in jet engines, which the owner of AMSOIL, Al Amatuzio, the old timer that started it way back in mid to late 60s, he got it API certified in 1972. How that all went about was he found out that this is what came in jet engines. So you'll notice, you know, you see some of these jet engines you're flying on. When you go fly somewhere, you say, how is this plane, you know, 20, 30 years old? Well, they maintain them and they run the highest quality lubricants they make. So that's the difference. So over here, we're going to go through this. I'm not going to talk about this much, but if you want to pause it and read this, you can. This is defining oil. And I'm going to go through and you can read all this. It's very technical, but I'm just going to make it super simple and you can read this part too. Awesome. So now we're going to go on to what it looks like compared to Harley motorcycle oil. This is AMSOIL's version of the Harley Screaming Eagle synthetic. The oil viscosity breakdown is basically 1/6 of their oil. So it's going to hold its film strength that much better, which you don't have as much oil burn, much blow by, you have better compression. And that's another benefit to driving with the trucks is the compression. You hold your compression a lot better when the cylinders don't wear out. So that is a huge part. Over here to a dirt bike clutch. This is an OEM style motor oil, and that would be like a AMSOIL motor oil. So you can see what that film strength is doing. It's just not letting wet clutches, anything like that, really wear out. And now we're going to come on to one of our last ones. This is a great article, it just came out. Oil types explained, basically all the differences. So you can read through this too. And now we're going to show the real world example of how it's actually different. Got 2 pieces of cardboard, nice fresh virgin piece, no scratches, no scratches. So we're going to take our box here, there's nothing in it. We're going to throw in our motor oil here. This is going to be our pretend motor oil. We got our little perfectly round spheres. This would be our 100% synthetic oil. Drop it in, and we're going to take it, and we're going to do a little friction test. So we're going to put a ton of these on here. Boom. There's our film on top of it. You can see what it looks like. That's the film on top of the cardboard. We take our cardboard and rub it back and forth, and look, with one finger, it goes back and forth like butter. Now, we're going to take these beads and get rid of them, and we're going to try some of this. So now we're going to try a natural gas style oil. This would be like an ultra platinum. And I get a lot of people, they go, hey, it was so close even to AMSOIL, there's no difference. Well, there is a difference because, like I mentioned before, the oil oxidizes exponentially. So it goes double, quadruple, 8 times, and it keeps breaking down. So basically this would be your natural gas style molecule. You can see it's a lot more refined than, say, a mineral oil, but you'll see if we come here, we sandwich this in here. Yeah, it's not really pushing back and forth easy, but if I do that, it's not going to really scratch this, but it just doesn't seem to work very well. We just took a trip to Wama and we got some good high mileage, you know, it's a little bit of a softie on this one, but hey, you get what you pay for, I guess. So we got our Super Tech high mileage. This is like a mineral oil. So we got these irregular shaped molecules in there, much more volatile. They burn off easier. So we're going to sprinkle some on here. We're going to put our pieces of metal together, our hypothetical pieces of metal, like that. And let's see. Huh. It's pretty inconsistent. Before it was going good, now it's not. And you'll see if you rub it like this, do a little rubbing, watch what happens. See, we rub for a second, and look, we're already starting to get a little bit of wear in the cardboard. So you'll see, and now it's some small rubbing. So it's just starting to get some scratches. So basically, you'll see, these are really the differences from a mineral oil, right here. You got your natural gas synthetic, very refined. You can see it took a lot of the rough edges off, but still, it's not perfectly round. And then you got your 100% synthetic oil. So this is what it adds up to. You're good for up to 1 year, 25,000 miles, or 700 idling hours, or 1 year. Now, this has actually been exceeded quite often, but we're going to throw a video of this on a real live Dodge Challenger. Stick that video up here in the corner, check it out. We really went that many miles on this oil. I want you to check it out. Oh, and if you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe. Go ahead and tap that notification bell. You'll see it kind of looks like this thing right here. And if you have any questions on this stuff, let me know. Now, before we go around the block and drive in Clinton's truck, which he was really nice to do a video, we're going to take a look here at what we've been doing over the last 15,000 subscribers and what everything everyone's helped me with here on the channel by sharing the videos and all this type of stuff and saving people that $5 million bucks. This is what it added up to with AMSOIL. There's a lot of people, they always ask, Eben, do you sell this stuff or whatever? And I tell people, not at all. The only thing I do is I get AMSOIL bought for one reason, results, and we share them every time like we have earlier. So these are some of my pins over the years. We got this outstanding 2019, 9th new customers, 5th new qualified customers. We got some plaques, some cool stuff like that. So now you saw a little bit about what's been going on with the channel. Don't want to get into that too much. We're going to go for a trip in this tractor trailer. Well, let's take a look at how it shifted after we did the transmission fluid change to 100% synthetic.
In a half mile, turn left on AMSOIL Avenue, US 85. In 500 feet, turn left on AMSOIL Avenue, US 85.
Ready?
25 south.
Okay, I'll finish up the gears and then we'll shut her off.
Continue on this road for 169 miles.
So that's all 10 gears. Well, technically 9 gears. I didn't go into first. And a couple of downshifts and back up. So hopefully this video does you well. Thanks. Smooth. I love it.
Better than before?
Oh, absolutely.
So now you saw what the transmission shifted like. Well, let's take a look at what draining the differential on a 18-wheeler looks like. It's about 4 gallons of this fluid. And remember before I was saying how clear this 100% synthetic is? Well, I want to show you really how clear it is. Here, take a look. Watch this. I'm going to come down here, pop the cap on this. This bag's already open. This is the 100% synthetic diff fluid a lot of the differentials take. I want you to see this. That's 100% synthetic. Look at that. So that's the gear lube. Very sticky. Puts a huge film, and it almost looks like water. Amazing. So when I say that, literally, when you look at these right here, that's literally what the gear lube looks like.
Advertise more and we'll eventually, we gotta do this.
Well, my fuel economy has gone up. So,
Does it?
yep. There we go. Look at her drain. Oh, it's draining faster than it can empty. Shit. I might have to stop it.
Yeah.
No?
You'll be alright.
There it goes. So I'm going to wait about 10 minutes and let it drip. Yeah, there's a little bit on there. I'm going to... There we go.
Yeah, it's a picture of them is going, there's a little shade.
Yeah. And the other one, if I can find it. There it is. There's a little bit in that one too. That's a piece of metal.
So what's that telling you?
Well, it's the first change, and there's always going to be a little bit in there.
Yeah.
All right, it's that time to fill her up. We're going to be filling up 11 gallons on Clinton's 18-wheeler. Well, take a look.
I've already added a little over 2 gallons of this 2.5 gallon oil container. I don't know if it's going to work, but she definitely gurgles.
All right, so you saw a gargler and a slurper all in one there. This is some of the other products AMSOIL has to offer. If you ever have any questions with this stuff, I'm always available. All my contact information is down in the description section. And we also have a lot of other videos comparing a lot of other things, like other gear oils, power steering fluid, all different types of other products from different companies. So a lot of people are always curious, really what is the difference? Well, I have a lot of that. I'll stick that up here in the corner. You can browse through. Lots of stuff here in the channel. I have to give a special thanks for Clinton for being a huge part of the channel, sharing so much data with the fuel mileage with his truck. going through the time to send the videos. And of course, he's got the badge of honor on the truck, and that sucker's rolling. So if you see this baby, take a photo of it if you see it on the road, and I want you to send me a text message. If you see that sucker on the road, let me know, all right? Oh, and I almost forgot, Eben's giveaways coming up the last Saturday of the month at 11 a.m. We give all kinds of $100 gift cards away. We give all kinds of interesting secret prizes. You never know what's coming next. So definitely leave that comment in the first 30 minutes down there. I personally randomly select people, so we'll see. Check this video out right here. You're going to enjoy this one. Cheers to protection, protection, protection.